Hey y'all, thank you for indulging me in this very weird way. When our session meeting was able to remain on January 22nd, next Monday, because of the changes to the Linda Bowman schedule, I needed to present something on January 21st, hopefully with you guys' approval on January 21st in worship. And so since we're meeting the 22nd, I wouldn't be able to talk to you before then. And the information that I need to give you is best seen and heard. I thought I had it figured out with coming home to record this instead of up at church, that it would work better, but it still seems that you're not going to see my face in it, just the PowerPoint. So anyway, I apologize for the strangeness here, but this is the best way that I could do it that would make the most sense. So getting started, the goal of any Christian education is to provide the resources, the structure, and the opportunities for our members to grow in their knowledge of the Bible and their understanding of what our faith is and what it means and how that can influence their life. And so with that in mind, some things had popped up that in our church family that we needed to address. So due to conversations, our teaching team met with Amy and I around Thanksgiving, and some of the things that were discussed, we met to celebrate them and everything that they do for us, but then also to get their input moving forward for 2018, what they would like to see. One of the things that is difficult about our church is that there are 1 to 2 kids in each grade. And so trying to find curriculum that fits wide age ranges has always been tough for us. We tried having 3 different classes, but that meant that the kids were spread thin. So any given Sunday, our teachers would have a class and there would be 1, maybe 2, 3 kids in there. So that, combined with the desire from our teachers, they want to streamline and simplify the curriculum a little bit more, make it more of a routine each week. So what we've been doing is more hands-on activity, highly involved with a bunch of activities, and they were thinking, you know what, that's just a whole lot. Like, let's simplify it, have a Bible story, do an activity, talk about it, something more routine, instead of trying to cram so much into that little bit of time they have with the kids. And then also the thought was that came up was, what if the kids and the adults, what if we were all doing the same thing, talking about the same thing? And that triggered a huge light bulb in my brain. And then also taking into account conversations that I've had with Thomas, younger and younger kids as early as 3rd grade are really wanting to get involved in the youth ministry and the Sunday afternoon and evening activities. We also have this really strong desire to re-strengthen the existing youth group, which is our high schoolers, with Thomas as their new leader, focusing more specifically on Meadow Lake youth, not moving away from one youth, but maybe reviving the Meadow Lake youth ministry, re-strengthening their bonds with one another, but also with Thomas as their new leader, and then coming back to one youth. And so Sunday evenings will now just be our Meadow Lake friends, and the one youth will now meet one Friday a month. And attention has been brought to us on something really cool that I'll share with you in a minute. So all of those things were brought to our attention, and we needed to figure out a way to address those for the 2018 year. So this Alpha Omega, a family-centered series, Watch and Live the Bible. You know what? I meant to put watching and living the Bible. I need to fix that graphic before Sunday. This is Alpha Omega, beginning to end. What this is it is a series that will instruct families to spend time together each week. They'll watch one episode on TV each week, and then I'll provide the families with conversation material to enhance that viewing experience throughout the week. Then on Sunday mornings, they will come to church at 9:30 for Sunday school, and they will go to their separate classes and engage in scripture discussion based on that week's episode, but at that level. So during the week you're watching, it's an activity that you watch something as a family and then you talk about it as a family. So your family is growing in their faith walk together, but then also you're given the opportunity to meet with people your age. So all the parents would meet together, just adults, and discuss those on their level so that they get what they need. So that's the series, but who watches what? What are we watching? The Bible. Some of you may have seen on the History Channel a few years back, they did a 12-episode season called The Bible, and they actually smushed that down into all of those episodes down, cut it up, and made a movie, The Son of God, that was really popular a few years back. We'll watch that, and then on the lesson on let's say, for instance, Abraham testing with Isaac. You would watch that episode at home, have that conversation as a family, and then come in and we would discuss that Bible story a little bit more in detail. Now, I understand there are parts of the Bible series that, there's some pretty gruesome war fighting scenes, and especially the towards the end of the series with Jesus and the crucifixion. So I don't necessarily want JB at 4 years old to watch that. So what we're also going to offer is Superbook. Superbook is a more child-friendly, it's kind of superhero-esque. Chris and Joy are the two characters there, and then they have this little guy Gizmo. This is a really, really cool series that walks through the Bible. CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network, is the one who has created this. So this is what the children will be watching, and as close as possible, when they're watching the Abraham story, we'll be watching and talking about the Abraham story as well. So families with children in this age bracket, they'll be given 2 sets of conversation guides, one based on the Bible episode, and then the other to prepare their younger ones to watch Superbook. The younger ones will actually watch. They can watch it at home if parents want to and have access to it, but they will also watch it in their Sunday school class, because you watch it a few minutes, stop and do it, have a discussion, watch a few more minutes, and so on and so forth. So what does all of that look like? 9:30 is going to look like this. Our babies and through 3-year-olds are going to stay in the nursery as they have. Our pre-K students through 2nd graders, they will do that Alpha Omega series I was talking about, but they'll be doing that through Superbook. Our 3rd through 12th graders, and I understand that sounds like a lot, but trust me, we've thought through this. We've looked at the individual people that would be involved in that conversation and who Thomas is. He is more than qualified to be able to handle that. They will be discussing the Bible with Thomas. Now, if you have, and I'll explain this really well to the church, but if, let's say, you have a 3rd or 4th grader, they're at the very beginning cusp of watching the Bible. If you're not comfortable with them watching the Bible and they're okay going to the Superbook, that is fine. Because the size of our, like I said, the congregation, it's really hard to create classes for the wide age ranges that we have. So they are welcome. It'll be kind of a case-by-case thing with each family. And then the adults, again, will be doing the Alpha Omega experience through the Bible with me. And then Fred is going to also be offering another class. So that's all great, right? Now we have kids that are going to be going to Sunday school at 9:30. So then what happens during worship at 10:30? Another amazing gift that we have been given that I am so excited to have back is the Godly Play curriculum. This is the hands-on, handcrafted by our very own Pat McGee curriculum that is designed to bring the worship service experience to life for our young children that Meadow Lake had years back. But I want to say maybe 8-9 years ago, it left Meadow Lake for reasons. But it's home now, and we are delighted to have it. So this is not our kids, obviously, but this is an example of what it looks like. Godly Play gives children a knowledge of Scripture that's not just reciting back certain answers to detailed questions from a lesson, but it really gives a genuine understanding that comes when they enter the stories in such a way that they enter into a dialogue with God and with one another. And as the book quoted, the fruits of this knowledge are lives being changed and renewed, and the desire to share that experience with other people. This is a curriculum that is honestly, I have been studying and learning it, and it is best to experience it. And so you guys will be given that opportunity soon. But I guarantee you, if you do even a little bit of research, ask Sally Walker, ask Jen Hammond, Christian Hammond, anybody who used this curriculum in the past, they will tell you how amazing it is. So our youngest children are pre-K through second grade. They will begin worship with us as they have been. And just as we do after time with the children, they will be dismissed and they will go into children's worship using this Godly Play curriculum. And so what that means is our 5th, 6th, some of our older kids, we've been giving them the opportunity to leave worship up through 8th grade. And we really believe that through teaching Godly Play, we want to teach, okay, what is worship? How can I relate my life experience in worship and commune with God during that? And so we really want to encourage, because of all of the other opportunities that we're using, those middle schoolers especially need to really be in worship, just being totally honest with you. But our kids that are maybe 3rd, 4th grade, maybe even 5th grade, if they want to enjoy this Godly Play, again, it is a family by family, child by child, case specific. If those families want to come and talk to me about their kid leaving worship to go to Godly Play, I am not opposed to that. But again, that'll just be a case by case scenario for our family. So, speaking of all of the opportunities we're providing our kids, Thomas has invited those 3rd graders. They have actually been coming to youth groups. So one of the conversations that Thomas and I had is you really can't have a 3rd grader and a 12th grader in the same youth group time, because that time is very, it can be extremely powerful when done in the right way. And it's just impossible to do the things that you would like to do in youth group with that wide of an age range. So what Thomas has decided to do is our 3rd through 7th graders will be on Sunday from 3 to 5, and our 8th through 12th graders will be on Sunday from 5 to 7. One of the things that Amy brought up is that, what about families who have kids that are in that younger group and that older group? And unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast when you have, more than one kid. They can't always go to the same school or be in the same class. And we're trying to help families as much as we can, but still provide those opportunities for spiritual growth in ways that are most beneficial to them, and not just catering to everybody's specific needs. So that is that. Whew, that's a lot. So what is a Sunday at Meadow Lake going to look like? 9:30, everybody's going to be in Sunday school. They're either going to be in nursery, Superbook, the Bible as a kid or teen, the Bible with Christine as an adult, or Fred's class. So 9:30, there is a space for everybody. So excited. 10:30, again, babies are going to be in nursery. Our youngest members are dismissed after time with the children for children's worship using Godly Play. And then the older ones will get to come back for youth group, 3 to 5 or 5 to 7. And then throughout the week, again, like I highlighted, that Alpha Omega series is going to be so cool because you'll be watching the Bible together as a family or as a couple, having conversations about it, and then being given the opportunity to discuss those at a level appropriate for each person with our Meadow Lake family on Sunday mornings. So that's a lot. I am so appreciative of you guys if you're still watching this, and I hope you are, to give me the best answer that you vote on if this is okay or not. So basically what I'm asking is it okay that we implement all of these things and changes starting the very first weekend in February? I would also, with Fred and I have been in discussion about the Godly Play curriculum. Since there was, we need to celebrate it being back, I guess is the best way to say it. We really need to honor Miss Pat and everything that she did in creating that. When you see it, it is absolutely amazing. They are handcrafted animals, artifacts. I mean, it is just unreal. It took her over a year to create. So we want to do something special with that and kind of do a ceremony bringing those wonderful curriculum back to home to our church. So we'll talk about that as well. But just, if you wouldn't mind, give me a yes, no, ask whatever questions you have. But the sooner I get a decision from session, the sooner I can get this out to my teachers and get them trained and get this out to the congregation. So thank you guys so much. Love you all and hope you have a great week.